Ladies and gentlemen, what would you dare to attempt if you knew you could not fail? Pause and let that question soak into your soul. Because the truth I bring you today is this: you have within you the very spark of the infinite. The power of God Himself is not distant, not beyond the clouds, not locked away in some far-off heaven. It is within you, right here, right now. Most people are taught to believe that power, success, and divine favor exist somewhere outside themselves, in the heavens, in lucky breaks, or in the hands of others. But the truth is far more empowering. The power of God is already within you. It is not something you have to chase, beg for, or earn through endless struggle. It is part of your very nature. The same force that created the stars, the oceans, and the mountains dwells within your spirit, waiting for you to recognize and use it. This understanding changes everything. Once you grasp that you are not separate from the source of all creation, you stop living as a beggar and start living as a creator. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances. You realize you are the master of them. You are not a weak, isolated being tossed by the winds of chance. You are a conscious expression of divine intelligence, capable of shaping your reality according to the vision you hold in your mind. When you internalize this truth, it instills a level of confidence that no external situation can shake. You do not ask for permission to succeed. You do not wait for the world to validate your dream. You move forward with the calm certainty that you were born to fulfill a purpose, and that you possess everything you need to achieve it. The great tragedy is that most people live their entire lives unaware of the power they carry inside. They act small, think small, and expect little, never knowing that they are heirs to infinite strength. But once you learn to act as if God is within you, you begin to live on a higher plane. You become unstoppable because you are finally living in harmony with your true identity. Faith is the bridge between the power within you and the results you desire in your life. It is not mere hope, nor is it blind optimism. True faith is a deep, unwavering certainty that the force of God within you is active, powerful, and ready to respond to your call. Without faith, the inner power lies dormant, like a seed that is never watered. But when you believe with absolute conviction that you are backed by infinite intelligence, that belief sets the creative process into motion. Every great achievement in history has been the result of a person acting on faith before there was any visible proof of success. The inventors, the pioneers, the leaders who changed the world, they did not wait for guarantees. They moved forward, fueled by the inner knowledge that what they sought was already possible. They understood that the world responds not to fear, not to hesitation, but to the energy of belief. When you act with true faith, you are commanding the unseen forces of the universe to cooperate with you. Faith does not mean you will never encounter challenges. It means that no challenge can defeat you because you already know how the story ends, with your victory. You walk into each day with the attitude that success is not only possible, but inevitable. This confidence radiates from you and influences the people, circumstances, and opportunities around you. Without faith, even the greatest potential remains unused. With faith, even the small beginning can lead to magnificent results. The choice is always yours: to doubt and stay small, or to believe and unleash the God power within you. When you choose faith, you align yourself with the greatest force in existence, and there are no limits to what you can achieve. When you understand that the power of God resides within you, you must learn to act with authority and confidence. This means stepping into every situation as if you are backed by the highest force in the universe, because you are. You no longer shrink back in fear or hesitation. Instead, you speak your truth boldly, you carry yourself with strength, and you pursue your dreams with relentless certainty. Confidence is not arrogance, It is the natural state of a person who knows who they are and whose power they carry. The world responds to confidence. People are drawn to those who radiate inner certainty, and opportunities seem to open for those who expect them. When you act timidly, you signal to the world that you do not trust yourself, and in turn, the world does not trust you. But when you act with boldness, you align yourself with success because you are expressing the divine energy that creates and commands adaptation. Acting with authority also means making decisions swiftly and standing by them. Indecision is a form of fear. It reflects a lack of trust in the power within. When you hesitate, you disconnect from your inner source. But when you make firm decisions and commit fully, you demonstrate faith in action. You prove to yourself and the world that you believe in your right to create your destiny. Confidence is a skill that grows with use. Every time you choose to trust in the divine power within you, your strength multiplies. You no longer seek approval or validation from others because you know you are already approved by the greatest force of all. Walk, speak, and act as if you are chosen, because you are. The more you practice this divine confidence, the more natural it becomes, and the higher you will rise. Your words and thoughts are powerful instruments, shaping the reality you experience each day. If you truly believe that God is within you, then your language and your inner dialogue must reflect that divine power. Speaking words of doubt, fear, or limitation is not only self-sabotage, it is a denial of the greatness within you. Every word you speak either strengthens your connection to divine power or weakens it. Every thought you entertain either moves you closer to your destiny or pulls you further away. When you understand this truth, you become vigilant about the language you use. You stop speaking of what you fear and begin speaking of what you intend to create. You stop complaining about obstacles and start declaring opportunities. Your mind becomes a sacred ground where only thoughts of power, possibility, and success are allowed to take root. Just as you would not allow weeds to overrun a garden you cared for, you do not allow negative thinking to overrun the garden of your mind. Changing your words and thoughts is not about lying to yourself or pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about choosing to focus on the greater reality, the reality where the power within you is greater than any obstacle you face. When you speak words of faith, when you think thoughts of strength, you activate the creative forces that move mountains and open doors. Many people fail to realize that what they habitually say and think becomes the blueprint for their future. If you continually speak of lack, you create lack. If you continually affirm abundance, health, and victory, you create those conditions. Therefore, discipline your mind and your tongue to express only the power that lives within you. In doing so, you become the master architect of your life. Recognizing the divine power within you is only the beginning. Living by it demands responsibility. This power is not something passive that simply makes life easy. It calls you to a higher standard of belief, thought, and action. It requires you to believe in yourself when everything around you seems to challenge that belief. It asks you to move forward even when fear whispers in your ear, and to trust the unseen when your senses offer no proof. The world will often test your resolve. Circumstances may arise that appear to contradict your inner vision. People may question your dreams or laugh at your certainty. But if you are to truly live in alignment with the power of God within you, you must learn to hold your faith steady through every storm. This is not always easy. It is a conscious choice you must make day after day, moment after moment, to trust the truth you carry inside rather than the temporary appearances outside. Living with the awareness of divine power also means taking full ownership of your life. You can no longer blame others for your setbacks or make excuses for your failures. You recognize that you have the creative force to rise above any circumstance, and therefore you accept responsibility for where you are and where you are going. This level of responsibility is not a burden, it is a gift. It frees you from dependence on anything or anyone outside of yourself. When you accept this sacred responsibility, you stop living reactively and begin living intentionally. You set your course with purpose, knowing you are guided by infinite intelligence. You do not flinch in the face of adversity. You do not surrender to doubt. Instead, you rise each day with a deeper commitment to honor the divine greatness that has been entrusted to you. When you act as if success is inevitable, you align yourself with one of the greatest laws of the universe. What you expect with confidence tends to manifest. Most people wait for proof before they believe, but true creators believe first, and then the proof appears. Acting as if success is inevitable does not mean ignoring obstacles. It means facing every challenge with the deep inner knowing that nothing can ultimately stop you. It is a mindset that transforms every step you take because you are no longer asking if you will succeed. You are simply asking how and when. This attitude changes the way you approach opportunities. Instead of hesitating or second-guessing yourself, you move boldly and decisively. You trust your instincts. You trust the guidance of the divine power within you, and you trust that every door you need will open at the right moment. Even when setbacks come, you do not interpret them as signs of defeat. You see them as temporary and necessary steps on the path to your inevitable victory. People who act as if success is inevitable tend to inspire others without even trying. Their certainty is contagious. Opportunities, resources, and allies are naturally drawn to someone who moves with purpose and faith. This is not arrogance. It is the calm, unshakable confidence of a person who knows they are backed by an invisible but irresistible force. Living this way demands a daily renewal of your vision and your belief. It requires that you continually remind yourself of who you are and what power lives within you. But the rewards are beyond measure. When you move through life with the spirit of inevitable success, you set forces into motion that bend reality in your favor. You live as you were meant to live, as a true creator, fearless and unstoppable.